Hey everyone, good morning. How are you? I hope you guys are doing great. I'm feeling sleepy this morning. Are any of you guys feeling sleepy? I feel like because it's cloudy outside, it's been kind of rainy. It might be a rainy day today. Um, excuse me. So let's take a look at our calendar and see what is today. I'm so tired, I'm not even sure what day it is. Let's take a look at our calendar. Ready? Okay. All right, yesterday was Monday, the 18th here. And so we got to move to our next day. What comes after 18? 17, 18, 19. Yeah, you guys are so smart. 19. Good job. And what day of the week is it? We go up here. It is, ooh, calendar out, trying to fall down. There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday. Yep. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2020. Maybe a Taco Tuesday for you guys, or Tacky Tuesday, or Terrific Tuesday. I think it's going to be a pretty great day. I hope you guys have a great day. We are going to read a story here in just a minute. And guess what it's about? It's about a donkey. A story about a donkey that seems silly. This book is called Sylvester and the Magic Pebble by Williams Steig. Maybe Steig. So what do you see on the front cover? Yeah, I see some houses. I see a couple donkeys, a couple chickens, a pig. Do you think the story will be real or not real? Yeah, donkeys and pigs don't usually wear clothes, so I'm thinking this is a made-up story, a pretend story, and we call that fiction. It's a fiction story. It's not real. Okay? So let's check it out and see. Oh, up here you see it got the Caldecott medal, so it got an award because it's such a great book. So I hope you guys like it too. All right. It's kind of an older book. It's one of my favorites. I really like it. Okay. Sylvester Duncan lived with his mother and father at Acorn Road in Oaksdale. One of his hobbies was collecting pebbles of unusual shape and color. Now, what is a pebble? Have you heard that word pebble before? Yeah, a pebble is a rock. It's a small rock. Okay. So he likes to collect rocks, basically. Um, but they call them pebbles. So I know I've seen some cool rocks before, some cool pebbles. On a rainy Saturday during vacation, he found a quite extraordinary one. It was flaming red, shiny, and perfectly round, like a marble. As he was studying this remarkable pebble, he began to shiver, probably from excitement, and the rain felt cold on his back. I wish it would stop raining, he said. So, what color was the pebble he found? Yeah, it was red. It was perfectly round. Do you remember what he said it looked like? Yeah, it looks like a marble. To his great surprise, the rain stopped. It didn't stop gradually, as rain usually does. It ceased. Ceased means it stopped immediately. The drops vanished on the way down, the clouds disappeared, everything was dry, and the sun was shining as if the rain had never existed. Interesting. So he found this perfect little pebble. He said, I wish it would stop raining. And it stopped raining. You think it's a coincidence? In all his young life, Sylvester had never had a wish gratified so quickly. It struck him that magic must be at work, and he guessed that the magic must be the remarkable looking red pebble, where indeed it was. To make a test, he put the pebble on the ground and said, I wish it would rain again. Nothing happened. But when he said the same thing, holding the pebble in his hoof, the sky turned black, there was lightning and a clap of thunder, and the rain came shooting down. So he did a test. He put the pebble on the ground and said, I wish it would rain. Nothing happened. And then he held the pebble and said, I wish it would rain. And it started raining. So he found a magic pebble that granted all your wishes. That's so cool. What a lucky day this is, thought Sylvester. From now on, I can have anything I want. My father and mother can have anything they want. My relatives, my friends, and anybody at all can have everything anybody wants. He wished the sunshine back in the sky, and he wished a wart on his left hind fetlock would disappear, and it did. And he started home, eager to amaze his father and mother with his magic pebble. He could hardly wait to see their faces. Maybe they couldn't even believe him at first. Would you believe someone if they said, Look, I found a magic pebble? I probably wouldn't at first. I would want to see it. As he was crossing Strawberry Hill, thinking of some of the many, many things he could wish for, he was startled to see a mean, hungry lion looking right at him from behind some tall grass. He was frightened. If he hadn't been so frightened, he could have made the lion disappear, or could have wished himself safe at home with his father and mother. He could have wished the lion would turn into a butterfly or a daisy or a gnat. He could have wished many things, but he panicked and he couldn't think carefully. I wish I were a rock, he said, and he became a rock. The lion came bounding over, sniffing the rock 100 times, walked around and around it, and went away. It confused, perplexed, puzzled, and bewildered. I saw that little donkey as clear as day. Maybe I'm going crazy, he thought. So he sees the lion coming after him. He's like, oh no, no, I'm scared. What do we do? So he said, I wish to be a rock. When maybe he could have made a different wish. But sometimes when we're scared and we panic, it's hard to think clearly. It's hard to think of a solution. So he panicked and wished he would be a rock. So let's see what happens. And there was Sylvester, a rock on Strawberry Hill, with the magic pebble laying right beside him on the ground, and he was unable to pick it up. Oh, how I wish I were myself again, he thought, but nothing happened. He had to be touching the pebble to make the magic work, but there was nothing he could do about it. His thoughts began to race like mad. He was scared and worried, feeling helpless. Being helpless, he felt hopeless. He imagined all the possibilities, and eventually he realized that his only chance of becoming himself again was for someone to find the red pebble and to wish that the rock next to him would be a donkey. Someone would surely find the red pebble. It was so bright and shiny, but what on earth would make them wish that a rock were a donkey? The chance was 1 in a billion at best. Sylvester fell asleep. What else could he do? Night came with many stars. So now he's just a rock. Here's his magic pebble beside him, but he can't wish to be himself again. Meanwhile, back at home, Mr. and Miss Duncan paced the floor, frantic with worry. Sylvester had never come home later than dinner time. Where could he be? They stayed up all night wondering what had happened, expecting that Sylvester would surely turn up by morning. But he didn't, of course. Miss Duncan cried a lot, and Mr. Duncan did his best to soothe her. Both longed to have their dear son with them. I will never scold Sylvester again as long as I live, no matter what he does. At dawn, they went about inquiring all of the neighbors. Inquiring means asking questions. So, what kind of questions do you think that they're asking? Yeah, probably. Have you seen Sylvester? When did you see him last? Do you know where he is? All those questions, trying to find their son, Sylvester. They talked to all the children, the puppies, the kittens, the colts, the piglets. No one had seen Sylvester since the day before yesterday. So who did they go to if they can't find him? If you need help with something, you can ask the police. Yep. They went to the police. The police could not find their child. How do you think his parents are feeling? Probably sad. hmm All the dogs in Oatsdale went searching for him. They sniffed behind every rock and tree and blade of grass, into every nook and gully of the neighborhood and beyond, but found not a scent of him. They sniffed the rock on Strawberry Hill, but it smelled like a rock. It didn't smell like Sylvester. So they still can't find him. After a month of searching the same places over and over again and inquiring of the same animals over and over again, Mr. and Miss Duncan no longer knew what to do. They concluded that something dreadful must have happened and that they would probably never see their son again, though all the time he was less than a mile away. They tried their best to be happy, to go about their usual ways, but their usual ways included Sylvester, and they were always reminded of him. They were miserable. Life had no meaning for them anymore. So they missed Sylvester. Night followed day and day followed night, over and over again. Sylvester on the hill woke up less and less often. When he was awake, he was only hopeless and unhappy. He felt he would be a rock forever, and he tried to get used to it. He went into an endless sleep. The days grew colder. Fall came with the leaves changing color. Then the leaves fell, and the grass bent to the ground. Do you know what season comes after fall? Where it snows? What season is that? Winter. When it was winter, the winds blew this way and that. It snowed. Mostly the animals stayed indoors, living on the food they had stored up. One day, a wolf sat on the rock that was Sylvester and howled because he was hungry. Do you know what season comes after winter? Fall, winter. It's actually the season we're in now. Then the snow melted, the earth warmed up in the spring sun, and things budded. Leaves were on the trees again, flowers showed their young faces. One day in May, that's the month we're in. Mr. Duncan insisted that his wife go with him on a picnic. Let's cheer up. Let us try to live again and be happy, even though Sylvester our Angel is no longer with us. And they went to Strawberry Hill. Miss Duncan sat down on the rock. The warmth of his own mother sitting on him woke Sylvester up from his deep winter sleep. How he wanted to shout, "Mother, Father, it's me, Sylvester, I'm right here." But he couldn't talk. He had no voice. He was a rock. Do you see something in this picture that they use to make shade? The umbrella. The umbrella helps make shade, block the sun. Mr. Duncan walked aimlessly about while Miss Duncan set out the picnic food on the rock. Alfalfa sandwiches, pickled oats, sassafras salad, Timothy compote. Suddenly, Mr. Duncan saw the red pebble. What a fantastic pebble, he exclaimed. Sylvester would have loved it for his collection. And he put the pebble on the rock. They sat down to eat. Sylvester was now as wide awake as a donkey that was a rock could possibly be. Uh, Miss Duncan felt some mysterious excitement. You know, Father, she said suddenly, I have the strangest feeling that our dear Sylvester is still alive and not far away. I am, Sylvester wanted to shout, but he couldn't. If only he had realized that the pebble resting on his back was the magic pebble. So Sylvester didn't know that the magic pebble was on him. He could wish himself back. Oh, how I wish he were here with us on this lovely May day, said Miss Duncan. Mr. Duncan looked sadly at the ground. Don't you wish it too, Father? He said. He looked at her as if to say, how could you ask such a question? Mr. and Miss Duncan looked at each other with great sorrow. I wish I were myself again. I wish I were my real self again, thought Sylvester. And in less than an instant, he was. You can imagine the scene that followed. The embraces, the kisses, the questions, the answers, the loving looks, and the fond exclamation. So he finally got to turn back into himself. When they had eventually calmed down a bit and had gotten home, Mr. Duncan put the magic pebble in an iron safe. Some day they might want to use it, but really for now, what more could they wish for? They all had all that they wanted. The end. So what did you think? Did you like Sylvester and the magic pebble? What would you wish for? What would you wish for if you had a magic pebble? Go ahead and write down for me 3 things that you would wish for if you had a magic pebble. And you can show someone that you live with. You can email it to me. You can send it to me. Take a picture. I want to know what you would wish for. I don't know what I would wish for. Maybe you would wish that we would go back to school so we could be together again. That would be a good wish. All right, you guys enjoy your day. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.